everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm here at GP1 Racing, got my car behind me. Before we get started with today's video, I want to talk about two new shirts that I just released. We have the Evo shirt, which I'll put right here. That shirt actually is almost sold out, so thank you so much to everyone who has supported already. And we have these Civic NASCAR style inspired t-shirts. You don't want to miss out. I do have full sizes on that. They are very limited, so be sure to check it out and grab yours before they're all gone. Also, be sure to subscribe to my newsletter on my website. That is how you stay up to date with my drops, stay up to date with my latest races, and pretty much my everyday life. I send out newsletters, I want to say twice a month with updates for you guys, so be sure to subscribe and check it out. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about my last event, the reunion in Bradenton Motorsports Park. And you guys know I love to be transparent with you guys. Whether it's a good event, bad event, I'm always going to share with you guys because drag racing is all about the good and the bad. You're going to have ups, you're going to have downs, but in the end, it all comes down to your love for the sport. We do this because we love it. It is a hobby. It is a passion. And regardless of what happens, as I say, never give up. Trust the process. I'm going to always keep going. So in today's video, you're going to see it all, the ups and the downs. So let's get to it. Here at Tech, pretty much just making sure the turbo and everything is legal and that we are at weight. So we just teched the car in. I'm 100% legal, which we already knew we would pass. I am a little overweight, unfortunately, 40 pounds over. The weight for the class is at 2,400, which you want to try to be as close as you can to 2,400. You don't want to be over that. So we got some stuff to figure out this summer. I think it's all the bed liner that's in this car that's added all a little weight, which is something that we didn't think about, or I didn't think about at the time. Because as you guys can see, this car is fully cut up. So I don't know where else we can lose weight at. I may have to remove some of the bed liner, which sucks, but we'll figure it out. For now, I'm gonna go back, get ready for testing. I'm gonna try to probably do 1 or 2 test hits before we go into qualifying tonight. We'll see how we do. So going into this event, it was a Friday-Saturday event, and on Friday we had a time where we could do some test passes. I was able to make 2 test hits. Let's get started with the first pass and talk about what happened. I already went in knowing that I was going to do a 1, 2, 3 hit. Our previous event was Texas 2K, and as you guys know, that event, we had a lot of short track issues. I was literally the only front wheel drive car in Texas, which was pretty cool, but also the prep just wasn't for us front wheel drive cars. It was a lot of radio prep. It was very sticky. It was perfect for the all wheel drive and rear wheel drive cars, but for a little front wheel drive car like me, it wasn't good. So coming into this event, this is our home track. So we kind of already have data from this track, but we just wanted to work on dialing that short track and make sure that it was just a Texas thing and not like an issue that we're bringing down to Florida. So first hit, I already had planned. I was going to do a 1, 2, 3 hit. If I saw anything on the board better than 150 60 foot, then I was going to stay in it. If I saw, 152, 50, anything up, I knew to seal it off. I knew that it was trash, so it would be a waste of a pass. So I did that. I did a 1, 2, 3 hit. I saw the 60 foot not being as good. I believe it was a 156. I could be wrong, but it was somewhere around there. Let off, and that was it. Went back to the pits. We tried to reevaluate some things, and we went to go do a second test hit to make sure we're ready for qualifying. During that second test hit, I decided to stay in it. I know that the 60 foot wasn't the best still. We're still working out some tweaks and stuff like that, but I was like, this is my only chance because I knew that testing was done after this pass, so I wanted to do a full hit so that way I could go through all 4 gears and just make sure everything ran smoothly. So let's go ahead and talk about my second test pass and what exactly happened. So during the second test pass, I went through all 4 gears, and unfortunately during that pass, I realized I was having an issue that I had at a previous event, and water was coming out of the ice box next to me. Now that usually means we lifted ahead. So my engine is actually cooled by this ice box that's next to me. We fill it up with ice throughout the event, and it's what cools the car down. And once I saw the pressurization and the water, I was like, we have a hurt head. So probably had a cracked cylinder head. I haven't even gotten down to that part yet to exactly determine what it was. So this sucked because now we were going into qualifying 1 and we knew we had a hurt cylinder head. So we were like, what do? Let's run the car with no water at all.
I don't need water! Water's for quitters!
That basically means we're turning on the car to make a pass and I'm turning it off as soon as that pass is done because we're running the engine without water, which is possible, but once you get those high temps up on the car, you want to obviously cool the car down as quickly as possible before more damage occurs. We didn't have enough time to fix any of this, so that was the temporary solution. So let's go into my first qualifying pass. First qualifying pass, not good either, guys. I went in already with a hurt head, which we knew, and then during this pass, I ended up breaking 3rd gear. I tried to go back into it, and that's how we knew that it was broken, wouldn't go in. We actually thought it was my final drive at the time because my final drive was a little hurt. It should have been good enough to run this event, but the teeth on the final drive were already getting warped, which just happens over time. I've had the same final drive for quite some time now, so it was just from wear and tear, something that needed to be replaced eventually. But later on, figured out it was not that. I actually broke 3rd gear. So really sucked. Now we had a hurt engine and we also had a hurt transmission. So at this time, we're like, you know what? Let's go ahead and prepare ourselves. We came with backups as we do to every event because anything can happen. Had a backup engine, had a backup trans, and now it was time to get to work. So in this clip, you're gonna see us taking the engine out and we put a new one in, and it took quite some time. That we swapped the engine, we ended up missing the 2nd round of qualifying at night, which sucked because the track was amazing. It was nighttime, it was cooler, and everybody in my class was running numbers. So I know that if we would have had the car running, I probably could have got that 7.9 that I'm trying to go after so badly. But it is what it is. I'm all about timing. When the time is right, it's gonna happen. For right now, I'm just trusting the process, letting it go with the flow, and just learning, you know? I do want to mention this car is fairly new, guys. Like, we are still dialing it in. We're still figuring out bugs. In the beginning, very beginning of the journey, before this new wrap, I was learning to drive the car and stuff. So now we have a whole new setup, pretty much a true sport front wheel drive, or extreme front wheel drive setup, as I should say. So we're still figuring out a lot of bugs. This car has not been out for an entire season yet. The debut of this car was at FL2K last year in October, and that event was pretty much an open test session for me. I had no seat time, no testing with the new setup, so we were figuring out bugs during that event. Unfortunately, we're still figuring things out. I do have some weight tanks behind here that I've added, and we're gonna add weight. The problem is without the weight, I'm 24-30, and with these weight tanks, I want to say they're about 35 pounds each, so they add 70 pounds to the front, which is really what we need for that short track. We need more weight, but again, I'm already overweight. So right now, we just want to get the formula down packed, see if we can get some more traction and get that better 60 foot with the weight added. And then later on, we can figure out how to evenly distribute that weight and take out more from the rear, obviously, and try to just get the front to weigh as close to 2400 as possible. So at this point, we have my very last chance to qualify, which was the next morning from the engine swap. That took all night long. We got back to the hotel room, I want to say at like 3 a.m. went to sleep, woke up at 7 and had to hit the track again because we were the first up for the last qualifying round, and obviously I didn't want to miss that. It was my only chance, my last chance to get into the field. Let's hop into this Q3 pass and I can talk to you guys about everything that happened. So going into Q3, this is my last chance to get into the race. And unfortunately, as soon as I went into second gear, it did not take it and I ended up breaking second gear. So after this, we realized, we looked at the data, I talked to my tuner, he pulled all the shift cuts, he pulled everything, all the logging up to figure out what is going on. So comes to find out there was something mechanical going on. Not sure if I have stretched my shifter cables, because I had some issues as well in Texas towards the end there, going into gear. So we currently have everything out. I am working with KDM Performance with the shifter box. They're reviewing everything, making sure everything is good to go. So that's out of the car right now being inspected, because otherwise strain is fine, everything else is fine. So I think maybe I just have some stretched shifter cables or something on the adjustment was off, which could have been from us when we did a previous swap. So it happens. It is what it is. It's all part of racing. You're gonna have the ups, you're gonna have the downs, but in the end, you know, I have love for this sport, so I'm not gonna let any of the downs get to me, because when the goods are good, you are on cloud 9 and you are happy and you realize why you're doing all this for, and I know that moment will come. With that being said, my next event is Pan Am's in July. I'm really excited for that event. It is a huge import event. I've heard of it from when I was young, so it's gonna be awesome to finally be at that event and racing. It's gonna be the first time I bring my car up north. I have not done any events up north yet, so really excited for that. I will be going to World Cup Finals in Maryland, import versus domestics. That will be in November, so I'm hoping to qualify for that event. Definitely gonna do some testing beforehand, because we have no data with that kind of cold weather. A lot of people run good numbers at that event because of how cold the weather is. The turbos love it, but it can also get sketchy because of the dew point. So it is a tricky event as well. So looking forward to that. You know, like I said, it's all part of racing. It is tricky. There is no perfect formula where you're gonna have a car that runs perfectly every single pass at every track. It's gonna, you know, no. There's always gonna have to be adjustments made, especially in our front wheel drive world. So after the reunion, came back to GP1 Racing where we are now, and I washed the car because it's gonna be sitting, unfortunately, until July. I will be doing some testing in between, which I will be updating you guys on the vlogs and stuff like that. But for now, the car is gonna be sitting. And I went ahead and opened up the trans that I broke, and that's where I discovered that I hurt some gears and stuff like that. So much for watching. I really appreciate every single one of you guys. I'm so grateful for your support on the channel, on my website, on my social media. If you aren't following me on social media, be sure to check it out. I have all my socials here. I am pretty active on social media. I need to get better with YouTube. I'm working on it, guys. I promise. I promise. I know I say that a lot. In the meantime, while the car is down and sitting, I'm going to be trying to record content with the Evo. The Evo has some work that needs to be done. It has some maintenance that needs to be done. And needs to be driven. So be on the lookout for some Evo content. I'm really excited to show that car some more love, because this car behind me has been taking up all of my attention and money, and it's time for the Evo to shine. So be on the lookout. Thank you guys again so much for watching. Trust the process, never give up. Peace. Let's check out the Q3 what's wrong with me? Let's check out the Q3 Let's go ahead and check out this Q3 why can I not say pass?